Yo, what up? This is Marvin Gibson, aka Big Gip, and you are now
Come on
tuned
now,
in.
dog. Come on, man.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
Yes, indeed. What's up, everybody? Including Lottie Dottie. You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice. And you know what? I'm gonna be glad in it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's settled. I'm gonna rejoice, and I'm gonna be glad in it. God has been better to me than I've been to myself. He's been better to me than you could ever be to me. He's just good like that, man. And I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and names, we want to thank you for pressing play and joining us on tonight. We've got a really great show lined up for you, so make sure you hit the share button. And since you're watching, go ahead and hit the like, the thumbs up, the hearts, all that good stuff, and let your folk know that the Retro Philosophy Show is on, and we got a show on tonight for you with the one and only Buster and Sinnimin, and I'm calling this one Lover's Lane. Yeah, Lover's Lane. Let's make some noise. Oh man, y'all got time? Go ahead and hit the share button. But let's welcome to the Retro Philosophy Show on tonight. Again, as I said, the one and only Mr. Buster and his lovely bride Sinnimin. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, let's make it official. Yeah, let's make it official. So, how you guys doing on tonight?
Doing well.
All right. Doing well. I'm glad to have you guys on the Retro Philosophy Show on tonight. And so we want to go ahead and I guess jump right into it. Let me see if I can't go ahead and do this just in case somebody wants to call in and say what's up to Buster and Sinnimin. And in the meantime and in between time, go ahead and introduce yourself to the Retro Philosophy Show on tonight, Buster and Sinnimin, officially.
Sure. My name is Buster. I'm from Soldiers United, MC Hampton Roads chapter. This is my lovely wife of 24 years.
Oh man, 24 years. 24. That is what's up. That's what's up, man. Congratulations, 24 years. Some people can't stay together for 24 weeks, and you guys did it for 24 years.
Sure.
Yeah. Anything you want to say, Sinnimin, as it relates to who you is and all that good stuff?
Sure. Just that I'm his support of Soldiers United out of the Hampton Roads chapter. And that's pretty much it as far as any club type stuff. I'm a nurse when I'm not on my bike. A
Okay.
mom of four and been married to him for 24 years.
24 years. All right. So what is your passion?
So recently, my new passion is riding my
Okay.
motorcycle.
Okay.
It just gives me a lot of peace because I live a very stressful life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the kind of work you do, I'm sure you see all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you meet that hunk sitting next to you?
I actually met him when my dad got stationed at Tinker. So
Okay.
he's the only great thing that came out of Oklahoma.
Okay. um
Yeah, I
uh,
met
uh,
him
um
in high school.
Buster, I don't know if you saw it or not, but when I asked her how she met that hunk sitting next to her, her face just lit up like the sun. Did you see that?
Well, it better. It better.
It better.
Yeah.
I hear you on that, man. I hear you on that. So
Yeah.
take me back 24 years. Well, you guys have been married 24 years, but I'm sure you guys been together a little longer than 24. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Buster, if you can recall, take me back to the first day you saw Cinnamon and what was kind of going through your mind then.
Well, so that's a good story, really. I don't know how long we have. I can go on and on how much I love this girl,
Oh man,
but
I love it.
the question that you asked
Uh-huh.
was the first time I got to meet her. I remember my friend. We was in it was C Hall in Midwest City High School in Oklahoma, and we were upstairs, and my friend was getting ready to break up with her friend. I just happened to be there. She just happened to be there. I don't know if she knew what was going on. I knew what was going on, but immediately when I saw her, I knew that was gonna be my girl. And from that point on, I used to ask her to marry me every single day. Like in the middle, in the middle of the whole school, like at lunch when everybody's out in the common area,
Yeah.
I used to yell at her, "Will you marry me?" And she used to always say no. And I understood why. She was a good girl, and
Uh-huh.
I was I was I was a crip. I like to do that sort of thing, and
Okay. Okay.
it just wasn't. I wasn't in her league, and so I pursued her for a good little while. I was 1 year above her in high school, and
Okay.
so when I got ready to leave, she gave me her number in my yearbook. I was with a girl at the time, and
Uh-huh.
so she was very respectful and didn't allow me to pursue or anything like that. But
Yeah.
after I got back from basic training from the army, she gave me an opportunity. We became best friends, and then got engaged,
Okay.
and got married. There was no dating. It was best friends, engaged, married, and
So
we've
so,
been married for 24 years.
and that's what's up. Congratulations there. Let me go back a couple of things. Number one, how long was your engagement before you guys actually got married?
Probably like 15 months. I
Mhm.
Okay.
was in college, so it was like 2.5 semesters, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Now I want to go back to the other question because the moment you saw her, you knew that was going to be your girl. So, do you believe in love at first sight?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
And she was smiling. It may not been. She may not thought it was for me, but it was for me. She
Okay.
smiled at me. And that smile has me ever since, man. I'm telling you
Nice.
what, it really do, really do. Hmm.
Nice, nice, nice. So 24 years. You guys have any children together?
A lot.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
so we have four. We have a girl, boy, girl, boy. Our oldest is 23. Oldest is Jordan and Joe Victor Jr. He's 21. Joelle, she's 18. She got to vote for the first time this
Nice.
weekend, and so that was really exciting. And then our youngest is 16, Vincent. Then we have
Okay.
two dogs, two cats, and a,
Grand cat.
a grand cat.
Oh
Yep,
man,
yep.
y'all got a full house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
dwindling down though.
Yeah.
There's only
So
two at home right now,
okay,
so that's
okay, okay,
nice.
okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. So that's what's up. So I mean, how long have you guys been riding?
So I think I started around 2012ish.
No, I
Okay.
think Vincent was actually a toddler.
I don't know.
He's probably been riding. Vincent's 16, and I can remember him being a toddler climbing on it. So probably 14 years, 13 to
Okay.
14
Okay.
years.
Okay.
Sure.
So so that leads me to my other question. How did you balance that, with a young family and everything? And when you started riding, how long after did you join Soldiers United? And how did you balance biker life and family life?
Sure. So for me, the bike, it wasn't much of a, I guess, a balance for me as much as an outlet
Okay.
for depression and things of that nature.
Okay.
After I left the army, I needed something that was kind of exhilarating, that sort of thing. So I excuse me. I initially, we were in Oklahoma. We're in
Hmm.
Virginia at the right now, but we were in Oklahoma at the time. I was not so much into the biker life. I was a part of the Combat Vets Motorcycle
Okay.
Association when
Yeah.
I first started learning about some things and following them, and was a part of them for a good while. Uh, so, um, um, but when we moved from Virginia or Oklahoma to Virginia, um, is when I kind of really linked up with the combat or with Soldiers United. I've
Gotcha.
known about them for a while. We were in the process of possibly starting a chapter in Oklahoma. Then we got in an accident in 2016. Lost my eye. My wife lost some body parts as well. We moved to Virginia, closer to her parents, and
Yeah.
that's when we kind of got committed with Soldiers United. And
Okay.
But
So,
as far as the balance, when the kids were smaller,
uh-huh.
it was more local rides, like 30 minutes for lunch.
Right.
We were near my in-laws, so they had them a lot sometimes on Saturdays. And then
Hmm.
also Jordan was already 14 or 15, so she could watch the kids for a
Right.
lunch ride. We
Right.
didn't really ride far until we moved out here. And I think Jordan was pretty much almost an adult by the
Hmm.
time we started going out of the area. And my parents live 5 minutes from us. So my
Nice.
parents are very active grandparents. So up until the kids didn't want to go over there, they
Hmm.
would have them all the time. So we wouldn't even have to ask
Right.
because they were there from Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, grandma's helped a lot. And then, like I said, when they were smaller, it was mostly him, and maybe I'd hop on the back for just a few.
mhm,
Okay.
But it was always inside the city.
So at
yeah.
what point was it that you decided you wanted to be more than just a backpack and ride your own ride?
So it was after we joined Soldiers United.
Okay.
They have a lot of their support rides. And I
Mm.
remember he used to tell me all the time when we first started riding that he wanted me to ride my own so I could see what it felt like. And I was like, a lot of the women I saw, no shade to Oklahoma, but a lot of the women I had seen, they looked a little rougher. They didn't look as feminine. And I was like, I don't want to lose my femininity. But Soldiers United support, I loved seeing them ride. They
Okay.
looked feminine and strong all at the same time.
Nice.
And some of them were better riders than some of the guys. And I was like,
Okay.
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 They got bigger bikes. You know, they're not on a little bike like I am. And they just ground pound. They just ride. And they had so much joy from it.
Hmm.
And then he signed me up for a course and just said, hey, this is what time your course is. You can go or don't go. I don't care. I already paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And she
Nice.
went, and it was an important course. It was the first black female instructor, Shaquila, and my wife ended up getting to be.
The very first class.
Wow.
So hers was split in two for the day.
Uh-huh.
She had a morning session, an afternoon session. So technically, I got the first female license because I was on the ground for the first half of the day. So
Uh-huh.
the second half, I just went in, did my test, and when I came out from my test, the other females were in the other group were still doing their course. So
Gotcha.
technically, I got mine first, but I actually almost failed that class. She almost had to put me off the range.
Okay. Oh, hey, look, almost ain't good enough. You pulled through.
Yeah,
You
well,
pulled
when
through.
she said that, a
Yeah.
lot of times if you tell me I can't do it,
Uh-huh.
I can tell myself all day. But once she said that, I said, oh, let me focus.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
the first one kicked off the range.
Yeah, yeah. So you have literally you are in the history books along with Shaquilla Bussy at the Motor Mob.
Technically,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Let's make some noise right there. So I heard that story. The first time I heard that story was at Iron Elite when you received the award from Soldiers United for Ground Pounder of the Year as well. So you hit the ground just really hitting it.
Yeah, I fell in love quickly.
Yeah. So
Too, too
let me
quick.
ask you this, Buster. Um, when she took off on her bike by herself for the first time, do you remember, and how did it make you feel, if you can remember?
Hmm. So yeah, I was it when you met me.
No, no, I think he means just being on the bike.
Yeah. So after she got her course, she got her license and everything, and
Yeah, like just going out the
yeah.
neighborhood
So
type
the
thing.
first time she rode a motorcycle by herself.
Sure. I think it was initially it was exhilarating
Mm-hmm.
because we started out slowly. She's nervous, but
Mm-hmm.
I push her slowly, and so initially we start out in our neighborhood.
Yep.
Went around that for a couple of times, and I took her out on the main road, and back into our neighborhood. But it wasn't until we start really going out in the country. We kind of live in the country
Yeah.
in Smithfield, Virginia, and
Okay.
she started making some of the curves and things, and that has always made me real nervous
Yeah.
because some of the curves I'm taking and I'm really not white knuckling it. And I
Yeah.
look back and she's sitting upright and she has no problem with at all. And no matter how well she does it, I just seeing her go around a curve
Yeah.
that I know is tough, it just makes me nervous seeing that. And so even till now,
Uh-huh.
if I get in another wreck, in which I probably will, the next one probably will be with me watching her in my mirror as we take a curve, even though I don't have to.
Right.
Uh, it's just hard to watch. It's
Let's back up a little bit. You mentioned accident, and earlier you mentioned the accident, and that's how you lost your eye, and Cinnamon lost some body parts as well. You guys care to talk about that a little bit? Elaborate. Was it on a motorcycle or?
No, it was actually in a car.
Okay.
Um, we lived in Oklahoma City at the time. We were going to Dallas, as most Oklahomans do,
Okay.
for the weekend to celebrate Valentine's Day. We're on our way back around noontime to Oklahoma City, um, and I fell asleep at the wheel,
Oh.
and with the vehicle on cruise control, and um, it went off the road and we hit like maybe a bridge or something like that,
Hmm.
Underpass.
underpass
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, lost my eye. It's it is what it is.
Yeah.
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 So I was awake because the when he so I was actually asleep because I worked night shift.
Hmm.
So I think I had to work that night. So I was in the passenger seat, sleep. And you know, the Texas especially, but a lot of the highways have that little thing on the side of the road that wakes you up.
Right. The
So
rumble
when he went
strips.
off and the car was going, "duh-duh-duh-duh," that woke me up. So I was
Okay.
awake for the actual accident.
Wow.
And what happened with me was, I think because I was awake, I was trying to react,
Hmm.
and my seatbelt jerked. So
Mm.
when it did that, it gave me internal bleeding.
Okay.
And the only way to save my life basically was to cut me open and take a lot of my intestines.
Okay.
So I ended up disfigured in my abdomen area. And I have a lot of anxiety because I spent like 6 weeks in the ICU. Then I had to go to step down, then to med surge, and then I actually had to go to inpatient rehab
Okay.
because I was in the hospital so long that I had to learn to walk again. And as a nurse, I'm actually grateful for my accident because I was a brand new baby nurse when this happened.
Okay.
And I was mostly a pediatric nurse, which most of my career I have been, but I'm adults now.
Okay.
But it gave me compassion,
Hmm.
and it also made me understand the anxiety of being in the hospital. I know what it's like to almost die. I know what it's like to be on a vent and people think you can't hear them and you can hear the entire conversation. And
Wow.
also the crazy dreams that the medications give you. I mean, I had a lot of nightmares. But the
Hmm.
thing the accident did for us as a couple is my husband has PTSD.
Hmm.
I never served. So I didn't understand anxiety because I didn't have anxiety until I had this accident. And then
Okay.
it made me understand, with anxiety, you just have no control over when it comes over you. And it's just crippling.
Okay.
So it's almost like it was like a pause and a reboot
Mm-hmm.
to value life, and then also to not um, to be more compassionate towards people, because you never know what people are going through, and you know what never know what people have come back from.
Okay. So you have been able, since the accident or as a result of the accident, you're now better able to understand the anxiety and stuff that Buster dealt with coming from the service, from the army,
Absolutely.
correct?
Yeah.
Um, so this has helped your relationship more than it has harmed your relationship.
Yeah. Another thing too. So I remember when I had the accident,
Mm-hmm.
when I was recovering. So we actually moved out here so that I could have more help with our kids.
Okay.
Because it took me 6 months to get back on my feet. And our youngest was only 8 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we still had small kids or whatever. So I wanted it to be closer to my mother, because my mother has recently passed, but she had brain cancer before that. It came back. But I wanted
Okay.
to be closer to her because when she had her first bout with cancer, I was 2 days away. When I had my accident, they had to red flight out to me. So my parents are military. So it's really just been my brother, my mom, my dad, me my entire life. So that accident made me realize that if they get sick or anything, I'm too far away. He's no longer active. But
Mm-hmm.
another thing it did for our relationship is he took complete care of me in ways that a husband usually doesn't take care of a young wife.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me realize his love for me,
Wow.
because he's such a strong man and he's so testosterone filled.
Uh-huh.
But he was cooking, he was cleaning, he was washing my hair, he was getting me in and out of the car. I mean, he was doing everything that, when you have something major like that,
Yeah.
some relationships falter because
Yeah.
a man didn't sign up, or a woman didn't sign up to take care of someone in their 30s
Mm-hmm.
the way that he was taking care of me.
Right.
People don't want that kind of, and he didn't even know if this would be how I was for life.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that didn't matter to him. So yeah, I think I saw him in a different light too, because I realized how compassionate he can be
Yeah.
if things hit the fan.
So speaking of that, you said he didn't even know how you would be. So did you have a bad prognosis, or was it, what were the doctors saying in terms of your recovery as well as yours, Buster?
Yeah, so for my prognosis, I guess they didn't really even expect. I think they expected me to walk and all that, but not to work,
Mm-hmm.
not to really be able to be as healthy, because I mean that kind of accident did take a lot out of me.
Yeah.
But I think it just seemed like it would be a longer recovery than what it was. But I think because I'm a nurse, I knew I had to be up on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
So I already knew what strengthening I had to do.
Plus, she's hard headed. She wants what she wants, and
Yeah.
she's gonna do whatever to be the type of nurse that she wanted to be, and that involved bedside and things of that nature, moving around, and so she pushed herself to do that. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It sounds like a true love story. My wife is watching tonight as well. She says true love. And love doesn't keep score. Love doesn't, I mean, love is resilient, and before we went live, those of you who are watching, that was one of the things I said about Buster and Cinnamon. Been watching them from here and there and things like that. And it's just something about y'all's love that just rings true and sincere. And I'll say this, from my observation, the love that you guys have for each other doesn't care what anyone else says. Am I in the ballpark?
Absolutely, absolutely. My wife
So,
told me to watch my language on your show, and so
okay.
I'm doing that. But I'm a cusser,
Uh-huh.
but I really don't care what anybody says. Is we like to call it the six of us. It's my wife and I and our four kids, and
Yep.
that's how it is. And Everything else is fun and games, but at the end of the day, there's only going to be one person by your side. That's your
Hmm.
wife.
That's
So
it.
that's where I stand.
That's it. If you were to sum the word love up in just a few words, what would it be?
I don't.
Um, it would be a partnership,
Okay,
it would be a friendship, and it would be loyalty.
nice. Nice. So you guys have been on the motorcycle scene for quite a while, and tonight's show is not going to be all about motorcycles, as you can see. But where does love fit in on the motorcycle community? Is it difficult? Is it challenging? Talk to me.
Now, I would say with us, it's everything. Uh, with I think it's most important though for my wife to go with me everywhere I go. There's been times where I've gone into other states where I wanted to share with her how beautiful a certain scenery is,
Uh huh.
but some things are hard to explain versus her being able to see just the same. So it's I don't know if that really totally pertains to the question, but
It definitely speaks to it.
everything I love is necessarily is about my wife and about motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Motorcycles give me peace. So
Mm-hmm.
does my wife. She gives me peace.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
More often than not, but more often than not. But
Yeah,
so I enjoy them both, and I need them both to collide on everything that I do.
I like that.
And everything I do is really just motorcycles and my wife.
I like
And I
that.
think
I
it
like
can
that.
exist on it can exist on the set. I think you just have to have boundaries in place. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when he first started bringing me around, you could feel some little tinge from people just because you don't ever know if that wife that you're meeting, if you're really ever going to meet her again.
Mm-hmm.
So when he would first introduce me, I could tell that some of the women who met me, it wasn't anything rude. It was just like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. But then
Mm-hmm.
once they realized we were a package deal, then they embraced me. They almost
Okay.
don't even want to see him, even though it's his set. You know what I mean? Because I'm really there because he's there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, but they take us as a package deal. So, like if someone sees me, then they ask me where he's at. Someone sees him, they tend to ask where I'm at, just because we set those boundaries early
Sure.
when we came out there. And I don't. I think it's what you make of it. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to be out there and be messy, you can. And if you don't want to be messy, you don't have to. People respect you with what you put out.
Mm-hmm. How important do you guys believe that the example that you guys have set and are setting is on the set?
I think it's important because there are a lot of couples that are like us, and I think it's exciting because I know when we see other married couples that are always together or very close in their friendship, even if they're not together, it's exciting to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like representation matters, right? You know how they
Yeah. Yeah.
say if you
Yeah.
see another black person when you're the only black people in the room, you're excited.
Yeah.
So when we see another couple, it's exciting because, like Coco and Kodak, for instance. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we're in the same club, but we literally have so much in common that we'll talk about what it's like to be the spouse that rides with someone who rides hard on a regular. Now they got to squeeze us into the ride.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, when we're outside and they're out mingling and being who they are, we can be over in the corner enjoying each other because there's another wife out there and we're just there to have a good time and be with our best friend. And I love that.
I love it, man. I love it. Let's make some noise for Buster and Cinnamon. Appreciate you guys sharing your story and being transparent. With that said and done, is it difficult talking about your story, especially as it relates to the accident and stuff?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The accident mainly because I mean I almost killed my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Almost took my children's mother from them. So yeah, yeah. It teach. It's not a. It's a sore subject. It is.
Okay, okay, okay. I can imagine. I can imagine. Um, glad you guys are still with us. Glad that you guys were able to take away from such a horrible experience some good things, and you guys have weathered it, and you guys are doing well. Buster, let me
Could have
ask
been
you this.
worse.
I'm sorry.
Facts.
I said it could have been worse.
It
Could have
it,
been
it, it
better. It
it
is
could have
what it
been worse.
is.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
outlook. It's a good outlook.
yeah.
Now I've seen different people who have different injuries and things like that. But I noticed that you don't wear a patch. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, yeah. So with my eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to wear a patch.
Okay.
I used to wear it everywhere I went. Mainly, uh, I, the army made me a fake eye. Like the VA hospital made me a fake eye.
Uh
The
huh.
first one, it didn't really move very well. Very nicely done, handcrafted and things of that nature.
Uh huh.
But just was terribly done. The second one was another beautifully done eye as far as like the craftsmanship.
Uh huh.
However, that eye made my eye droopy, and
Okay.
then the eye got doctor that made my eye said to me, "Huh, now you look like Forrest Whitaker," and it fired me up so bad.
Yeah.
So I would never take off my patch because I was embarrassed, and I before I start really getting used to having the one eye,
Uh
I
huh.
would bump into stuff all the time. Everything on the right side, I bump in. Still
Yeah.
do a lot of times. When me and my wife ride together, I drift a lot towards the right.
Okay.
So it's a real big learning curve for me. However, I stopped wearing my patch because every time I would get off my bike, I would immediately put it on, and my national president, Peanut, he's out of Fayetteville, Soldiers United, asked me something along the lines of why I always take it off, and I start giving him some reason why, and he said, well, I forget the words he said, but he's just basically like, stop wearing that stuff, go as you are type thing. And
Hmm.
I'm trying.
Basically, you don't have to hide it.
Yeah.
Because I think when he was trying to wear the patch, he was trying to make others comfortable.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He was trying to make others comfortable so they didn't have to look at his eye, but his face is beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's a survival story. And for me, when I see you, Buster, without your patch on, it speaks volumes about your strength, your character. You know what I'm saying? And
I ain't all there. I just smoke a lot of weed. You know what I mean? I'm.
well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. But yeah, 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 yeah. So that's what's up, man. I got mad respect for you, bro. I really do. I really do.
Thank you.
Do you know
Um,
how long he was down when he lost his eye before he rode his bike?
how long was he down?
I was in the hospital. He somehow, because he's the middle brother,
Okay.
somehow he tricked his younger brother into giving him his car keys
Uh huh.
when to get to his house, to our house, and then he got his motorcycle and just said, "Let me hop on." I think he was out the hospital 3 days.
Holy moly, you got to be killing me. 3 days, Buster?
Not at all.
Life goes on. Life goes
I'm
on.
pretty
Wow.
positive
Life
Three
goes on.
because he
days?
wanted to see if he could do it.
I
It
mean,
was either that or I was gonna have to move to a trike, and I wasn't ready for that quite yet. You
I mean,
know.
three days. 3 days. I mean, you're still in pain at 3 days out.
I think he still had the bandage.
Yeah, I did. I had the hospital bandage on. It was like them dirty hospitals where they got the tape and stuff on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. 3 days. All right. Y'all ain't playing no games.
No, not y'all. I that him.
Okay.
I'm
Well, you ain't.
cautious.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, I'd go out on a limb and say, well, maybe I should put it in the form of a question. Riding motorcycles, has it made you guys better people?
Yeah. We used to be very so. My road name Sin. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be very heavily involved in the church, but the church that we were involved with they taught us some very judgmental practices.
Oh yeah, you must have been in
Um,
a Pentecostal church. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
What do you say?
it's Pentecostal, but it was independent Baptist.
Okay,
But
okay,
it
same
was
thing.
one. Have you ever heard the saying, "You're more heavenly bound than earthly good"?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Heavenly minded than earthly
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
So that's kind of how we were. We
yeah.
didn't believe that you could be part of the world and be Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So being on the bike set has really opened our mind to loving everyone. Because when we
Nice.
started off in that journey, we were so young in our 20s, we were very easy to be molded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we were very judgmental.
Okay.
Um, but being a part of the motorcycle set has really, I mean, I feel like bikers, a lot of bikers are probably more loving than a lot of Christians that I've
Mm-hmm.
met in life. Not
Mm-hmm.
saying that Christians can't be, but you just get this painting that bikers are not. So
Right.
you already know Christians are loving, but you don't know bikers are loving
Right.
until you're around
Yeah. Yeah. That's powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. So a strong Christian background. You move over into the motorcycles and just kind of keep it going. At what point was it that you were introduced or came across motorcycle ministry? And how did that make you feel seeing, ministry amongst the motorcycle set?
So we actually saw that when we were in church. We weren't involved in motorcycle ministry, but when we were in church, we rode. And
Okay.
so there were a couple of biker churches in Oklahoma. Remember that?
Okay.
So you would see, and then I think one of our youth leaders there, the head of the youth department, he rode. They even didn't you go to a Bible conference where most of the guys rode their bikes? So I mean, we saw that there were people who were doing both.
Okay. Okay. Nice. All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Interesting story. So you guys have made it through some ups and some downs. 24 years later, you're still loving each other. You're smiling at each other and everything, and which is a beautiful thing. Um, let's talk a little bit about the Virginia Four Corners. When did you hear about it, and why was that a ride you thought you guys should ride?
So I think we heard about it. Probably through Kodak or something or
Hmm.
another, or maybe I've been watching you for a while
Yeah.
on social media, maybe Facebook mainly. But and then I think I subscribed you on YouTube and things of that nature.
Thank you,
But
sir.
I think I saw you do Four Corners in Georgia. Maybe
Hmm.
it snowed or rained real bad then, and you had to reschedule or something. You did the Carolinas. I reached out to you and it's like, hey, let me know when you do Virginia, something other along those lines.
Yeah.
And then when I saw you put it up, maybe last year you put it up, but I think we have already spent our time doing so many other things by then. But we almost nearly every weekend we look for something to do, and we had talked about this ride as well several times. And then I think we looked at this, maybe Tele Dragon,
Yeah.
maybe America's First Mile in Maine, and then we kind of settled on this because out all the different rides financially, this was like the cheapest
Hmm.
than the other rides, and so we just decided to do this. Plus, it was in our neck of the woods. We like collecting patches. If you see our rags, we really don't have a lot of patches on our rags, mainly
Okay.
because I don't want to lose my pockets. But we love collecting
Yeah.
patches. I mean,
Nice.
stickers and patches. We do. We did the I-10 to the end just for a patch,
Yeah.
just to say we do it. It's not sewn on anything. We like different challenging rides that not a lot of people are already doing. And this just happened to be one that was nearby that we
Uh-huh.
could do that we don't know anybody that has done. And I mean, it's fun. I mean, we love it. It builds us. Sure, we don't get to see our kids as often, but they don't care about seeing us either. We don't.
Out for dinner.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
come out
yeah,
for
yeah.
dinner if they come out, and we may get lucky to see them pass by. So we 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 spend our time doing what we love doing, and that's time with each other. Four Corners, just Virginia Beach is maybe like 40 minutes away from our house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
It's easy.
yeah, it was easy. And what we did actually, I'm sorry, you didn't ask the question, so I'm sorry.
No, you're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine. You're elaborating. That's cool. Because that was the next question I was going to be. I was just going to ask some more questions about the ride, and so yeah, by all means.
Okay, so we actually I took your ride plan
Uh huh.
that you did. Was it? There it is. Yeah. I took
Yeah.
your ride
Uh
plan,
huh.
and I thought to myself trying to figure it out, and we had looked at it last year and wrote it down. It's probably exactly the same, but I figured if you already did it, or whoever you sent, or however you go about finding these points, why do I need to recreate the wheel? So I just took it exactly how you did it.
Uh huh.
Went from Virginia Beach to Leesburg. Then we went from Leesburg to Winchester. Then we went from Winchester to Ewing.
Ewing.
Yeah.
Ewing,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ewing. I've never heard of Ewing in my life, and most Virginians I don't think has either.
Yeah.
But we went to Ewing, but we stayed the night prior to Ewing, and then we went to Ewing, and
So we did the first three all in one day. We did the
yeah.
Virginia Beach, then
Nice.
to Leedsburg and Winchester. Because Winchester, so Virginia kind of like comes to this weird point.
Mm-hmm.
Winchester and Leedsburg are less than an hour apart from each other,
Right.
or are an hour apart, something like that. So
Yep.
it's easy because we're by Virginia Beach. We're an hour from Virginia Beach. So it was easy to knock three out in one day. I think the challenge was now if he didn't have me with me, Virginia's not that big. It's 1146. He
Right.
probably could have done it in one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I was gonna do it in one day, but she started whimpering, and we was getting in the mountain area really bad. So I said, "Hey,
before
what's
we go on the road, I always ask him what's the plan. And he told me I did not have to do the mountains after the sun set.
Okay.
So if the sun's setting, I mean, these are
Yeah.
your rules.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I ain't mad
And
at you.
also,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm the cautious one. I'm always
Okay.
like, that's enough for today.
Yeah. 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 So Buster, you'd have knocked it out in one day if you was by yourself.
so yes, I wanted to knock it all out in one day because my calculations, I could have knocked out all points in 11.5 hours. Now
Okay.
I may not have been able to make it home, but
Right.
I would have been able to achieve the goal and say, "Hey, Kodak, I'm
Yeah.
done."
Done.
And then he'd been like airborne, and I went home. But the next day, but she said no. So I think we ended up doing like 3 days, which wasn't bad.
Right.
It was
Do
relaxing.
I
Yeah.
don't care. I mean, yeah, I'll take 3, 4, 5 days. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
matter. I'm in no rush anymore. I lost this one eye because I was in a rush.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in a rush no more.
I
It's
hear
just the
that,
way it
man.
is
I
now.
hear that. And one thing, just so you know, about the Four Corners, of course, you can make it your own ride and do it however you want to do it. But it's also set up in a way where, there's no strenuous time frame on it. If you want to take 3, 4, 5 days, so be it. A day for each corner if necessary.
Yeah.
And as long as you hit the Four Corners, you can route it you can crisscross it or, all back roads or whatever. We just really encourage the people to just really kind of take the ride, make it their own, and that way they could just thoroughly enjoy it. And it sounds like you guys had fun doing it.
Sure. And may I say this? It was so before I do any ride, I usually
Uh-huh.
send my ride plan to Kodak down in Fayetteville. And
Yeah.
so I sent him my ride plan like the night before. And he said, "Hey man, they did the four corners of
North Carolina.
North Carolina the same weekend that we did. And it was really exciting seeing him and Rita do it. And always exciting to see that couple just go
Yeah.
ahead and kill
Yeah.
everything, man. It really is. It really is.
The wife says you got to follow your rule, Buster. The sun is setting, so she gets to. Yeah, yeah. Them ladies, they're
Sure.
gonna stick together now, Buster.
Sure. And they should. And they should. 'Cause we need
Yeah,
reeling back sometimes.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. We got Sean Brown in the building. He said, "Slap a whole tribe in the house."
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
indeed.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so anything else about the ride, Buster, that you want to share with the listening audience or Cinnamon?
Yeah. So it was actually a really beautiful ride.
Okay.
I love the mountains. I don't necessarily love taking all the dips and all that, but when you get into those nice long curves,
Yeah.
and the it's fall out there now, so the trees are beautiful, the mountain is beautiful. The only thing is, there were certain areas where people actually did try to hit us, so that kind of
Huh?
set it back a little bit. Yeah.
You have to understand if you doing these rides, Ewing ain't in no
Well,
black
yeah.
friendly area. You
Yeah.
know, and so you can't just
And
you
through
gotta
the mountains
yeah
where you can disappear.
you gotta
Mm.
we had some people following us. We pulled off at a scenic route. A guy just stopped him and his buddy and just watched us. It was my first time ever in that Ewing area to see a swastika sticker on the back of a car. I mean, yeah, I know what swastika is, and you see it everywhere, but not just that bold. And it was what that area. So some cities, you need to just go and take your picture and go, and just be on out, and just
Yeah.
and so I mean, you could tell which ones they are, and just be smart about things and get in and get out. We had some people just try to hit us just because. And when me and my wife ride, which is all the time,
Uh-huh.
we ain't in no rush to go nowhere. So we ain't trying to hog the left lane. We
We ain't
Right.
ain't
fighting
yeah,
cars.
dude. We probably stoned, just chilling, having a good time riding, enjoying the wind. And
Yeah.
so some of these areas you just really got to be careful about and just get on about the way and let people be people and just
Yeah.
let them go about themselves and just go along your way. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a great ride. We took extra fuel. We didn't really need extra fuel, and we only took extra fuel because my wife has she has a Scout 60, which is a
Okay.
smaller tank. She mainly only go about 130 miles before she needs filling up again. But
Okay.
we didn't need fuel. But it was, dude, it was a good ride. It was relaxing. It was enjoyable to see your state. If nothing else, do your state and just see the sights. It was beautiful, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my Scout 60 really does well on little curves. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
little limber bike.
You be riding that thing, man. Y'all be on the
I
go,
love
man.
that.
Y'all be on the go.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
that
We
that's
just
that's
love
a
it.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You mentioned, ride your state, and I just think that that's a beautiful thing to be able to say, I rode the circumference of my state. And you said this, Buster. You said you had never heard of Ewing or something like that. I think you said correct.
Sure,
And so
yes,
we get that from other riders who ride the four corners of some of the other states too, which is interesting because, we are familiar a lot of times with the major cities and towns, but these rides causes us to go through parts of our state that normally we would never even,
sure,
intentionally go through.
sure,
So it kind of
yeah.
pushes out there on some of those roads and highways and things like that. So anything else you guys want to share with us on tonight, man? It's been fun chopping it up with you guys.
Nope, no, we're thankful for the privilege
Yeah.
to be able to be seen, to be able to have our voices heard, and to sit on this platform with you. And also, if I here it is, Soldiers United to
In the
represent our club,
building, you
Soldiers
already know what
United.
it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're proud to be a part of Soldiers United, Hampton Roads, our president Dre, and those that serve with him, and just to be part of this club is a
Yeah.
great thing for us.
I've
Great
I've
thing.
run across soldiers on different times. We started a thing called Retro's Radar, and I was on my way down, I think to Concord, and I saw a couple guys coming down the highway. They were coming up from behind me, and I'm watching them in the mirror. So I said, "Let me get my camera going, see who these folks are." And sure enough, man, they get up close, man, and it was some soldiers, man. They were actually on their way back from Canada, if I'm not mistaken. I think
Mm.
they were on their way back down to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
had a few people go out to Canada this year from Soldiers United, and they make me jealous. And I listen, I just gotta quit. I gotta be an adult and get me a passport. is what it is. Yeah,
That's what's
yeah,
up, man. That's what's up, man.
yeah.
Mad respect for Soldiers United, man. All of
Thank
my
you.
experiences with the soldiers has been, top notch, and
Yeah.
that speaks volumes, man. Because as you said earlier, sometimes bikers get a bad rep, but there's some good bikers out there doing their thing. Buster,
Sure.
what's your story, bro? If you had to, if you had a narrative, if somebody said, Buster, what's your narrative? What's your story?
Wait, what are you about?
Listen, I've done the Christian life, as my wife said. We used to be involved in that.
Uh huh.
I've done a lot of things in life that I was told to do. My
Mm,
wife and I, we like to live free now. I don't know what the next day will bring, but until then, I'm gonna live how I want to live now. I just enjoy my wife and kids.
mm-hmm.
I fucking I enjoy my club.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no,
I'm
you good.
sorry.
You
For
good.
this club,
I've been
He did
trying.
good though. He did good.
Hey,
We're gonna give him an A for effort.
yeah, sure,
Go
sure.
ahead, boss man. You
I
good.
I I listen. I enjoy my club. I enjoy my four kids, my dogs, my cats. I enjoy my wife more than anyone else in this world.
Nice.
But I am thankful to be able to enjoy those things with my motorcycle. I kid you not. From my time in Iraq until who I am now, without a motorcycle, I probably still wouldn't be around. I
Mm,
say that truthfully. So I am thankful. So that is who I am. I'm a free spirit. I I I, I smoke weed. I do whatever I want,
hmm.
and then I love my wife. I love my
Amen.
kids, and that's it. Oh, and we
Amen.
voted. We voted.
we
Yes, we
did,
voted.
we did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Cinnamon, I had told you earlier we would, once we go live, I would hold all my questions till we went live, and we've had a great time conversating. But let's talk about Cinnamon and how you got that name. Let's talk about that real quick.
So the name Cinnamon is a play on. So when we were at the combat vets,
Okay.
um, I had the road name Brown Sugar, which he hated. But
Okay.
somebody gave it to me and he hated it. So when we came to Soldiers United, one of the sisters had said, well, we already have a sugar. You should be like cinnamon or cinnamon stick, I think she said.
Uh-huh.
And so I had mentioned that to him. And so he named me.
Okay.
But when he did it, of course, he probably smoked some weed before and started thinking, how can I do this? And my husband is artistic. So
Okay.
he's got a way with words, as you've seen,
Uh-huh.
and he can always paint a picture.
Yeah.
So he came up with the play on cinnamon by spelling it the way he did. And it's sin, I'm in, or if you show your neck, or I'm in sin. I
Oh,
don't know if you can see that. So it's a play on
yeah.
saying that he used to be a pastor. I used to be pastor's wife. I mean, we even did missionary work out of our vehicle, kids in tow.
Hold on a
I
minute.
stayed at
Now,
home.
see, if you'd have revealed this information earlier in the interview, we could have really dug into some stuff.
Oh
Hold
man.
on, wait a minute. He used to be a what?
So when we jump in, we jump all the way in.
Okay, okay.
So I was literally a stay-at-home mom. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
sewed the clothes for the girls and the boys. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Um, so we used to door knock every single Saturday, and we would
Mm-hmm.
always meet this person similar to who we are now. But we
Okay.
meet people who would say, "Oh, I know the Bible. I was in church. I used to have a church." And we really, because I told you we were raised real judgmental in the church. So
Right,
we were
right.
like, "Yeah, okay, you had a church, and now you sitting up in here and won't come to church on Sunday."
Yeah.
So my name, his play on it is we're in sin. I mean, we're
Yeah.
openly,
Yeah. Yeah.
we know what the
Yeah,
calling is, but
dude.
we know how we're living. So the play is sin, I'm in.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on now.
I'm in.
We got a few more minutes we're gonna squeeze out of this. I can't resist now. So Buster, how long were you pastoring? And tell me a little bit about that experience.
So when I got out of the army after Iraq, I'm 100% disabled vet.
Okay.
I believe the Lord was calling me to start a church. Uh, did some Bible college, Baptist. So I have a master's in theology.
Okay.
Started a church in Oklahoma. Um,
From the bottom.
Yeah, from door knocking, storefront building, that sort of thing.
Okay. What was the name of the church?
Black American, Solid Rock Independent Fundamental Baptist Church.
Okay.
Fundamental.
No, fundamental was it? Solid Rock
SRIBC, Solid Rock
Independent
Independent Baptist.
Baptist Church. Yep.
Okay. 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 Okay.
And so we did that for I think 2 years. Really kind of quit when I got in this accident. And just right before, he's kind of winding down with us spiritually, and now we don't go to church.
Hmm.
We just live life.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so it was just who he was at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So is there anything that could convince you that, in other words, is there a chance in life that you may end up back? Uh, I don't really want to say in the church, but in the church.
So we're not opposed to church. We go from time to time. We're more of a Easter, Christmas randomly.
C&E Christians,
Yeah,
yeah.
CEO
see.
saints.
C&E,
So
the ones we used to talk about.
right. So it's
CEO,
not that we
Christmas
don't.
and Easter only.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and then my dad's really involved in church, so he invites us a lot. So it's not that we don't believe. It's more of it's not where we want to be right now.
Yeah. I
There's a
say,
lot of hurt there
there you go.
from
I say it all the
yeah.
time. People don't have a problem with God, they have a problem with his representatives. And I
Yes.
think a lot of times it's the people that ruin it for, for other believers.
Yeah.
But we will save the rest of that, Buster, for another conversation at another time.
Sounds great.
And if you don't mind, I'd love to have you back on and we can kind of, dive into some of that a little bit. Because there's a lot of people out here who I believe are hurting and they have been pushed away
Sure,
for, many
sure,
different reasons. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So, I knew it was something special about you though, bro.
No, no,
Hey,
nothing
I
You
gotta.
special.
used to have a matching mustache with you too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to have those
Oh
handlebars,
man,
but now
word.
I just do. Now I just a little weird this way. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Say
No, it's
less. You
dope.
got pictures,
It's
Cinnamon?
dope.
You got any pictures of
Oh,
that
I'll get
stash?
you.
Oh, give
Yeah,
me
I'll
some
find one.
pictures. Yeah, find
Nah,
one,
nah, nah,
find
nah,
one.
nah. I liked it, man. I
Yeah,
liked
yeah,
it.
Oh,
yeah.
it was clean.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta be
Nice.
different.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice, nice. So what I need to do is I know we've kind of talked and I was on the road and you was on the road going the other way and everything. But what we have been doing is we've been doing our best to try to hand deliver the patches, with the exception maybe one or two. But we will get together, set a date where we can collide or catch up and make it happen and get those patches delivered in your hands personally. How's that
that'd be
sound?
awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
Sounds
awesome.
good.
And again, we want to say thank you for supporting the movement, Mission 448. There's several other people who are watching tonight. I know Tank, he's knocked out. Uh, um, the four corners and everything. So we want to thank everybody for getting on board and supporting the Mission 448. We do have registration open for all of the lower 48 states, and so we have made a few what do you call it? We have revamped it, the program slightly, and we're excited. This year, 2025 coming, we're going to really do a big push for Mission 448 and really just focus on that mission there. We got some other rides that we're going to be introducing as well. And as soon as we get a few things sorted out with that, I'll make sure I share that with you. I think it might be one that you'll be interested in as well. I like to get advice from people because I think that we should always remain students. That's right, Tank. He did North Carolina as well as Georgia. And I want to say they are talking about Maryland or one of the states up north as well. Shout out to Worldwide Riders making it do what it do. We appreciate them. Let's make some noise for them. I believe one should always remain a student, and so with that said and done, Buster, I'm going to ask both you and Cinnamon before we leave if you guys would share with us a piece of advice.
For the four corners.
No, at life in general, maybe something that you picked up along the way. Some life advice.
So for me, my time in the accident was recovery was long. So I have a saying, and it's nothing lasts forever. Ever.
Mm,
Good things don't always last forever. Bad things don't last forever. everything's going to come to an end at some point in time. So if you're having a rough day, it's going to end. If you're having a great day, enjoy that while you can, because everything has a shelf life.
That's powerful right there. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Sir Buster, how about you, sir?
Only thing I have to say, nothing eloquent like that, but just deeds, not words. That's something
Deeds, not
I've
words.
lived by since Iraq. Something I live by now. Deeds, not words. That's it. Just deeds, not words.
I should have asked you this earlier in the show, Buster, but are you originally from Oklahoma?
So I was born in Terre Haute, Indiana, but been from Oklahoma since I was about 3, I think, as I was told. So all my life until I joined the Army, and then moved around with the Army and my wife, and now we're here, Smithfield, Virginia.
I keep hearing a twang come out
Oh,
of it, and I just can't. It's very distinct. I can't really place it.
I'm
he
Oklahoma.
country.
Yeah, I'm Oklahoma. I'm
Okay,
country.
okay,
I'm
okay.
Oklahoma country.
Uh, well, we really appreciate you guys, man, and for coming on the show tonight, taking time. I know, Cinnamon,
Thank
you
you.
work the late shift. Is that correct?
I do. Not this week.
Okay, good,
I go
good,
back
good.
at the end of the week. So I've been
Okay.
off since Thursday.
Well,
But
again,
yeah,
I
I
want
work
to say
nights.
congratulations on 24 years, beautiful family, and just simply being overcomers. You guys are good people, man. We want to say thank you for being with us here tonight on the Retro Philosophy Show.
Thank you for
Eh,
having us.
Yes, sir. And we'll get
Thank
together and get you guys those patches delivered in your hands. All right, ladies and gentlemen,
That'd be awesome.
saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Let's make some noise for Cinnamon and the one and only Sir Buster. For now on, I'm just gonna call him Sir Buster.
Mhm.
Thank you guys again, man. You guys have a good night.
you too.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, what a treat to sit down and talk with that beautiful couple on tonight, man. Man, learned a lot, and was just really great to just sit down and chat with them on tonight, man. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Let us know in the comment section if you enjoyed the conversation on tonight. I know I did, so it don't really matter if you. No, I shouldn't be so rude, but it is what it is, man. Once again, let's make some noise for Buster and Cinnamon. And also, we give a shout out to Soldiers United Motorcycle. I was going to say Motorcycle Ministry, Motorcycle Club, making it do what it do. That's it for me tonight, folks. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some rest and lay it down. Tomorrow comes real quick. But as Cinnamon said, nothing lasts forever, and as Buster said, deeds, not words. Hopefully you guys will join us next time we go live. Make sure you have subscribed to the YouTube channel, and if not, what are you waiting for? And if you have questions about the Mission 448 or the four corners of your state, make sure you give us a jingle, give us a call, inboxes or whatever, and we'll set you up with that registration. All right, it's your boy Retro. I'm over and out, and we're gonna send you out of here. How are we gonna send you out of here tonight? Bada boom, bada bang. I guess we'll do it this way.
What we got going on?
We got the Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, Four Corners runs. Andre, Highway Dre,
Highway Dre.
has completed not only North Carolina,
Yes, sir.
but he went on and did South Carolina just because he was in the vicinity.
That's right.
It got so nice to him, he wanted to get where it was a little bit warmer, so he went on down to get him a few oranges and a slice of key lime pie down in Florida.
I did. I did.
But he also stopped by to get some peach cobbler while he was in the area. So he went to Georgia and did the Four Corners there as well.
Oh my word.
So, Highway Dre, we love you, bro. Appreciate you.
Hey, look. Let me tell you why I do this.
Okay.
Why do you wait? I got a question. Why do you do this?
Why do you tell them why you do it?
Because I can.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Including Lottie Dottie. It's your boy Retro with you on today. And I've got a public service announcement for you. Just because you do something that you see an OG do doesn't make you an OG. And just because you get on your motorcycle and you pound from here to there doesn't make you a ground pounder either. You'll never be what you ain't. But hey, like they say in the Army, be all you can be.